Good afternoon, mayors. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. Welcome back to our closing luncheon of our 78th Annual Conference of Mayors. Let me begin by thanking all of the sponsors of today's luncheon: American Water, Black & Veatch, Honeywell, Motorola, TCP Inc., and our lead sponsor, Integris Health. Please give them a round of applause. Mayors, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Bruce Lawrence. Bruce Lawrence, President and Chief Executive Officer of Oklahoma's largest healthcare systems, Integris Health. Integris Health is an Oklahoma-owned, not-for-profit health system employing 9,000 statewide. Bruce's responsibility encompasses the 15 Integris hospitals across Oklahoma. Please join me in welcoming Bruce Lawrence.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Couts, and you took about half of my talk, and I appreciate that. That was a great point for us at Integris Health. We also want to welcome you on behalf of Integris to Oklahoma City. Hopefully over the last 3 or 4 days you've been able to experience not only the hospitality of our citizens, but the great work that's going on here, and a lot of that is the direct result of Mayor Mick Cornett. And I know Mayor Cornett is no stranger to you, and he's done remarkable things for us here in Oklahoma City. You've noticed a lot of construction this week, and there's a lot of things happening with our infrastructure downtown, but there's another movement I'd like to talk about that Mayor Cornett has been instrumental, and that's he put this city on a diet several years ago. And as of today, the city of Oklahoma City is about 500,000 pounds lighter than it was when he actually put us on a diet. I account for about 10 pounds of those myself, so thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. And I was really glad to see the salad and the baked chicken and the shrimp today for lunch. Since Integris Health was sponsoring the lunch, we thought it needed to be a healthy one at that. Integris Health is Oklahoma's largest healthcare system. We are a not-for-profit healthcare system. Our roots began back in the early 1900s when the Baptist General Convention of Oklahoma began planting hospitals across the state of Oklahoma. And today we have some of the premier healthcare sites anywhere in Oklahoma. And I could stand here and brag about all sorts of things this afternoon for you, but I wanted to talk about 3 particularly. First is our Transplant Institute. The Nazi Zudi Transplant Institute at Integris Baptist Medical Center is the state's only multi-organ transplant institute. We do everything there from hearts, lungs, pancreas, kidneys, intestine, and we've gotten very involved in the last 2 or 3 years with mechanical circulatory support, an artificial heart, if you will. And that center has been in existence for over 25 years, and we boast some of the highest success rates for transplant institutes in the country today. We have a very dedicated team of physicians and other clinicians that make that happen. Integris also has a major focus on cardiovascular care, and we're recognized as one of the top 100 cardiovascular care centers in the country. And heart disease and the associate diseases around heart disease are very important to us and to our state. And with leadership of others across the state, much like Mayor Cornett, we at Integris are hoping to make a true difference in reducing the levels of and the incidence of heart disease. And then lastly is cancer care. Cancer care is moving rapidly up the spectrum of taking the place of cardiovascular care as the #1 killer of Americans and particularly of Oklahomans. And we've partnered with a group out of Indiana to form a proton therapy center here in Oklahoma City. This is only the 6th proton therapy center in the country, and it's the only one that's not affiliated with a major medical center. And so it's been up and going for about a year now, and we're seeing patients from not just Oklahoma, but from this region and from outlying areas across the country. And if you have an interest, I would encourage you to take a look at integriscancer.com. We just last week rolled out a new microsite that truly gives a flavor and a feel for what care is being provided there through the eyes of the patients, their families, and their physicians. And before I leave the podium, I would like to recognize the important work of this conference, U.S. Conference of Mayors. Integris Health has been a member of the Business Council since the year 2005, and our goals and your goals are very well aligned. And so it's our proud honor to be able to be affiliated with you. Speaking of partnerships, this afternoon you're going to have a real treat. You're going to be able to hear from Mayor Cornett and former Mayors Humphreys, Norick, and Coates. And it's through that transition and progression of leadership for our city as you're seeing the real fruits of that right now. And I would hope that you'll come back in 5 or 6 years, because I think the growth that we've had in not only the services but the things we offer our citizens over the past 10 years is only going to multiply over the next 10 years. So please feel welcome to come back to Oklahoma City at any point in time. Again, thank you for your attention, and we thank you for being here. And Mayor Couts, we appreciate the American Conference of Mayors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce, for your support of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And I'm just so proud of you guys. I mean, Mayor Cornett losing weight, now Bruce losing weight. You're part of that 500,000, right? Very good. And Mayors, we had scheduled also to address us this afternoon as DOT Undersecretary Kinnitz. However, the weather has caused his flight to be canceled, and he's not going to be joining us. So we'll move on with the reports from our membership committee. Mayor Brian Waller is on his way to give us a report. And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
We're all there with you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and we're all there to help.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to congratulate you and the new officers and the rest of the advisory board. I'd like to congratulate Mayor Cornett for sponsoring a wonderful host city events that we've all enjoyed. And I received a phone call from my son this morning. He was out touring the Oklahoma locker room at the football stadium. You have one of the touring events, and myself being a diehard home of the Rutgers University, so we were needling the Oklahoma folks that were given a tour about how they should come play in the East sometime. So. But one thing I would like to say up here on behalf of the chair of the membership committee is that we need your help out there with the other mayors of those mayors who are not member cities. In the words of Senator Mark Begich, they're finally getting in on Capitol Hill because we do have some now former mayors who are now members of Congress and U.S. senators. And he said the other night is that we need to keep this up. So in order to keep it up, in the words of our president, that the more we roar, the more they will really listen to us. So it's inherently beneficial if we can recruit more members. We all know what the dynamics are with the economy out there and how it's tough in every city. But the fact is that when we go to Capitol Hill or Tom goes to Capitol Hill and stuff, they look at the actual members. They do, whether it's the National League of Cities or National Association of Counties or the U.S. Conference of Mayors. It's all about numbers. And one thing we need to do, if there's somebody out there in your respective state of the town that you know that's not there, and you have a very good working relationship with that mayor who may be an adjacent mayor, feel free to contact myself or the staff or on the membership committee. We would be more than happy to possibly go out and visit with that mayor or making a personal phone call to encourage them to join up. There's a lot of value in this organization, as we all know. We learn a lot here day in, day out at this conference, and this one and also the one in the winter where we get a chance to meet our federal representatives. So it's inherent that we need to get out and reach more membership. Because at the end of the day, is if there's no membership, we have no conference. So please, if anybody has any thoughts, or if you would like to join the membership committee and have some thoughts on it, please contact myself or Deborah Dehaney, who's the chair staff of the membership committee, or the president here, Elizabeth Couch. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, it was funny.
Mayors, I want to also share with you some important news for us, and that is where are our next annual meetings. So we all know that we're going to Baltimore in 2011. In 2012, the Site Selection Committee has determined that we are going to be going to Orlando in 2012, Chicago in 2013, and Dallas in 2014. And the site collection met and made the recommendations to the Board of Trustees, and these are the adopted sites where we will be going for our annual meeting in 2012, 13, and 14. And now, Mayor Marks, you have an update for us with all the meetings that you've been undertaking?
Thank you very much, Madam President. Not so much of an update, but some additional information, of course, on the 2010 Gulf, our measure, the 2010 Gulf oil spill, a significantly tragic event. One thing that has, unfortunately, we may have gotten lost in our efforts to address this is the fact that 11 people were killed in that tragic accident. And we shouldn't forget those individuals or their families. And so I think it would be appropriate at this time if we just take a moment of silence and recognition of those individuals who actually lost their lives and lost more than any of us, and the families and their families. Just a moment of silence. Thank you. Now, we all know that the environmental impact of this oil spill is significant. We all know that the Gulf state regions will be hit and impacted significantly as a result of this spill. And I am very proud that the U.S. Conference of Mayors has taken the stand that they took just a little while ago with the resolution. But there's more action that we must take. We just can't have the resolution. The resolution is important. It gives us a guideline. But in addition to that, we have to come up with a game plan to help those individuals and to help those states and to help those communities in the Gulf state regions, both from an ecological standpoint as well as an environmental standpoint. So we will have a meeting. I think we all know that there is a meeting that has now currently been scheduled for Monday, a week from today, in New Orleans. So I want to thank our Executive Director, Tom Cochran, for putting that together and making sure that that happens. Now, we also know that we have to make sure that our government, all of our governments, from the federal government to the state government and to our local governments, act in coordination. If we don't do that, then we're going to miss an opportunity to really address this matter in a very comprehensive and a very appropriate manner. So part of our action plan has got to be that we act in concert with those other governmental entities. And that's part of this plan, and that was part of the resolution that you all adopted today as well. So all levels of government must be involved in this, and it must be a coordinated effort. I want to mention, too, that the Obama administration, we had some concerns about them, about the administration contacted local governments. I did get a call from the White House to kind of put me up to date, or get me up to date on that. I am told I was not a part of the conversation, but the president did make a phone call and talked to about 58 local government representatives on May 3rd. And there has been a phone call at 3 o'clock every day to some local governments around in the region itself. And that, if you want to be a part of that dialogue, we can get that number for you. So the administration has been talking to some of our local representatives, but we have to make sure that they talk to more so we can get the message out, and we will do that. The other thing that we're very, very concerned about is that the administration and the federal level have a task force consisting of all of those agencies that may have an input in this disaster. And so we're certainly going to urge them, the federal administration, the administration, to put together a task force of certain emergency services or departments, including the Department of Commerce, Energy, Health and Human Services, Housing, Urban Development, and Labor. And we want them to put those together. But we also want them to appoint somebody that we can go to, a go-to person that we have designated as a, quote, commander, unquote, that we know can coordinate the efforts of all of those departments. And I have been told that there is a template plan out there already that can help us do that. And I do have some documents that I'm going to look at to see if we can get that template to use it. I think it was used in the federal base closing initiative at one point in time, and we can use that as a template for what we might want to do. In addition to that, we want the federal government, if they can, to establish an infrastructure bank, because this is going to take a lot of effort from a lot of people. I am told that the Senate, somebody in the Senate, and I just got this information, the Senate will pass either a resolution or a bill requesting BP put up $200 million to address this matter. I hope that's enough. I hope that's enough. It may not be. Now, finally, as far as Congress is concerned, we want to urge, we're talking about the federal administration, and they are, I have to tell you from what I've heard and what I've seen thus far, they are really, and we heard from the secretary, we heard from the administrator the other day, and that was a very, very good conversation. They are involved in this, and they are engaged. I think our next step is to make sure that Congress is engaged in this effort as well, and make sure that they put their resources, whatever resources they can have, behind this effort as well, and provide us with some assistance from the congressional level in helping us get those agencies coordinated so that we can move forward with this program and with an action plan. So, Madam President, that is the latest. I'm sure that the staff, and I know that Tom will keep up with this and get us all kinds of information, but we must, this is a disaster of monumental proportions. I don't think we have yet seen, understood how significant and how devastating this can be, and the ripple effect, the cascading effect of this disaster in the Gulf is going to have major, major implications for our nation. And certainly, I'm from Florida. I'm the mayor of the city of Tallahassee, and we're on the front line of this thing. But certainly, we need the help. We need the help of this entire nation to address this. And I have had a couple of interviews, and you know, when you have an interview with any of the newspapers, they said, "Is there anything you would like to add?" Every time. That's one thing I want to add. Florida is open for business. All right? The beaches are clean. The resorts are open. Where's my mayor from? Where's Mayor Dyer? Is he here? Mayor Dyer, is Disneyland open? Disney World, I'm sorry. As well as Disney World open? The beaches are open. And the same goes for the other states as well. Mississippi has not been negatively impacted. And we have to make sure that that message is spread. We cannot afford. We've heard some incidents of tourists canceling some of their reservations. Believe me, Florida is open for business. And thank you very much for giving me this few moments. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor Marks, and members, www.usmayors.org. You will get the information. You'll get the links. And we'll be sure to make that you have all of the updates that Mayor Marks is speaking about. And now, Tom, can you tell us more about the event in Louisiana?
Yes, and you know, when Mayor Couts, when, you know, life is what happens when you're planning something else. And Mayor O'Neill had Katrina, and now we have this. And people were saying, what are the mayors going to do? I said, we're going to go to Oklahoma City, and the mayors will tell us what they want us to do. And what a beautiful job you've done with this resolution. And Mayor Kipp is here. I was looking for you earlier, but he's here from Louisiana. So we and Mayor Landrieu is calling for solidarity with the nation's mayors. And so we're moving to New Orleans. We're going to New Orleans on Sunday night, that's the 20th. We'll be at the Roosevelt Hotel, and Mayor Couts and I will be there, and other people in the leadership are welcome to join us. We'll have a meeting, and no doubt be part and witness some of the issues there. But we'll also have an agenda with us now that we can take and work it. And we're not in this alone. I will be working with my staff to reach out. And the League of Cities is here. They've got state leagues all over that region down there. The Tallahassee mayor is the chair of the League of Cities right now, president. But anyway, we now will go forward to pull the allies together, you know, and really work with the administration and Congress to make sure that cities and local governments are involved. I think that's one of the problems that we're having. So let us know, and if you would, Yvonne, where are you? There you are. That's Y Daily, not like Mayor Daley, but like YDAILEY at usmayors.org. And you got my email. So hit me on my BlackBerry or hit Yvonne, and I will be sending out probably tomorrow a more detailed agenda, but this is a calendar notice of Sunday night and all day Monday. And I think we can have you returning home late in the afternoon, like 3:30 or 4 o'clock. We'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Mayors, do you have any questions that you have? I just encourage you to attend this special meeting that's going to be hosted by Mayor Landrieu in New Orleans. And it's going to be something that I think our fellow mayors down and around the Gulf are asking us to help them with. Mayor whom? Okay. Mayor Funkhausen from Kansas City, you have something you want to talk about? Please come forward.
Thank you very much, President Couts and CEO and Executive Director Tom Cochran, for giving me just a moment to talk to you about the Mayor's Innovation Project. I attended this last year when it was in D.C. With Mayor Michael Nutter and some other folks, other mayors, and I was incredibly impressed with the practical, pragmatic solutions to real problems that I saw there from the other mayors and from the experts. It's a little bit like the Mayor's Institute on City Design. In that it's focused on real problems, and we sort of get together and talk about them. Kansas City is the host this year in July for the Mayor's Innovation Project. We have 3 projects that we're going to talk to you about in Kansas City. These are not cute. They're not small. They're great, big, urban, gritty, environmental and economic projects designed to have an impact on the economy and the environment of my entire 318 square mile city. I passed out this morning, the staff passed out to you information, an invitation and a draft agenda. It's in July 21st to the 23rd. We will probably not pull out the stops quite as much as Mayor Cornett did, but we would be thrilled to have you and hope you can make it. And again, thank you for your attention.
Following our luncheon, our host city has some special sessions, and I encourage everyone to go to it because I think you will find it very beneficial. These sessions are on how Oklahoma City passed 3 transformative tax initiatives in times of a recession. Mayor Cornett was giving me some snippets. Yes, please tell us about it, Mayor, because I think these are really learning experience for all of us.
Well, I hope many of you can come by. It'll be at between 2:30 and 4:30. I'll be on a panel with the 3 preceding mayors in Oklahoma City. The mayor from 1987 to 1983 to 87 will be the moderator, and then the last 3 mayors will talk about our initiatives that built the Bricktown Canal, that built the Bricktown Ballpark, that rebuilt our inner city school system, and we've done it all with this penny on the dollar sales tax that has an expiration date and has got continual buy-in from our citizens. And so we'll discuss the structure, the political aspects, how we deal with staff, and really all aspects of this, what I think is an extraordinary series of accomplishments that has changed this city, the city that I grew up in, into a city that has not looked back. And so another aspect of this is I really want to draw attention to the quality of mayors that Oklahoma City has had in the past. I'm certainly not trying to draw any attention to me, but these last 2 mayors have been extraordinary leaders for our city, and you will serve yourself well to listen to their story and their wisdom. 2:30 to 4:30 today. It's in Ballroom A on the 2nd level of the Convention Center. So that's in about half an hour from now.
Yeah. Good. So, mayors, I just encourage you to do that. And then tonight, we have a closing evening. You want to tell us a little bit about that, too?
Glad to. We will be at the Western Heritage Center, which is sometimes known affectionately as the Cowboy Hall of Fame. We're in for a special treat because they've just had what they call the Prix de West. It's the finest collection of Western art that's gathered every year for an extraordinary auction. The auction was Saturday night, but that art is still in the building, and you'll have a chance to view it. Then we'll go into the main hall, and you'll be able to hear a Broadway performer, Kelly O'Hara, who is an Oklahoma native and an Oklahoma City University graduate, flew in today from Broadway, and she'll be singing songs from the Broadway musical Oklahoma, and we'll also have a few other renditions from the Will Rogers Follies. Once again, it'll be a relatively short musical performance, 30 to 45 minutes, but you'll have a chance to see some extraordinary art, a wonderful meal, and we'll give you a great send-off, and thank you once and for all for coming to Oklahoma City.
Mayors, one more time for Mayor Mick Cornett. Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. And remember, go to the special host city sessions this afternoon. See you tonight.